Do you want to build the ultimate Asgard in Star Citizen? Well, I'll show you how to maximize your build for ultimate performance and minimum signature. I'll first go over the build with you, then show you how to optimize your ship, and finally, we'll take on a PvE mission to see how the ship performs. For the build here, I'm going to use Games just to show you the complete build. Makes it very easy. For my weapons, I'm going to stick with the default loadout here. CF repeaters, they're still very good and I really enjoy the speed on them. You can also go with attritions if you want to, but for me, I still prefer CF repeaters. Even in PvE, I prefer the projectile speed over the damage. So for me, full panther repeaters. If you scroll down to missiles here, you're going to see I went with the thunderbolts just because they are electric magnetic. They hit a little bit more consistently than other missiles, so I prefer Thunderbolt. You can see I also took off my turret, so I left my turret empty so that we can save power. The ship is a very power hungry and it's impossible to completely fill it out, but I'm going to give you some options that you can do in a minute. For my shields here, I went with the beefiest shields. Ramparts, they have the most HP, pretty decent regeneration, and pretty decent component health. Most people also would recommend the FR-76s just because they are a military version. They have decent health, but the ramparts have more. But they have way more regeneration than the ramparts. Also, the regens faster. They're pretty good, but very difficult to get these. You can get these from Wicklow by turning in ace helmets and some CF repeaters. This is where you can find them. I'll probably make a video on it soon enough. But for now, because we can buy the ramparts, I'm going to go with them. For our power plant, now this is where things get interesting. Power is a very difficult situation for the ship, so I went with the power plants. Gives me the most amount of power and the least amount of signature. You can do something different if you want to. For example, you can see here I run star burns. My signature is 27. If I run the default ones, I'm going to say reset here. You'll see this goes to 30, but the power stays the same. So if I switch them, you'll see that my signature will go up. So you do lose out on about 3k signature if you run these. But what do you gain for this increased signature? Well, you gain component health. If I go back to the star burn here, you'll see it only has 550 component health, which is pretty decent, but not crazy. But the default one here has 1300. If a missile hits you, there is a chance where your power plant can go out, but the more signature you have, the more chance a missile will hit you. So it's something that you need to give and take. So I'm going to go with the star burn just because I like to keep my signature nice and low. But in most cases, you want more component health if you can find it. But for now, because I reduce my signature, meaning missiles won't be able to hit me as easily, I'm going to go with the star burn. You will need to be on point with your flares. Just make sure that you always flare. Now, there's another way to increase your power. With the Wicklow ones, you can always hit a military power plant here for 21 power. This will also increase your power. And that 2 power definitely matters quite a bit. Because if we set everything up correctly here, I think we can max out our weapons. Our thrusters, our shields will still be online. It won't regenerate as fast. The rampart is actually better than the military version. And only one in cooling. They should be able to give us enough power to max out basically everything except for shields and the regeneration they come with, right? So we'll still get the strength of it, but not the regeneration. So if you manage to do Wicklow, you might be able to get your hands on these power plants, which is very sought after just because of the extra power here. But I'm going to switch to my defaults here because we can't buy these. Back to Starburn until we can loot the Wicklow ones. Now for my cooling don't matter really. You only need one pip in cooling, otherwise your IR will get crazy. So we're going to go with the icebox here, just one. The rest we are going to unequip so we don't waste our power. If we move down here to our quantum drive, I always go with the bolt because it reduces our IR signature. But if you want something a bit faster, you can always go with the meta. but you'll see it will almost double. But in this case, it doesn't really matter. So you can just go with the Mera. It's faster, it's more fuel efficient, super decent quantum drive. If you don't know where to buy all of these components, you can always just click on the component. Go down here, you'll see all of the shops listed. I did make a video where I take you to each shop. I will link that video in the description. The video has timestamps. Just jump to the area and I'll show you exactly how to get to each component shop. This is for newer players. Now that you know how to set up your ship, let's quickly jump in game and I'll show you how to manage the power and do a combat mission to see how the Asgard performs. For power management, I like to go full weapons, put most of my power into thrusters, but keep all my shields online. You need to fill up all of these 4 blocks, otherwise you won't have all your shields online. You can see the only pips that are missing are the ones that allow me to regenerate faster shields, but we're not going to go towards regeneration. This is a bubble shield, so when it's down, there's no shield faces. So this is why I go more with thrusters, so that I can avoid more damage. And here on this end, only 1 pip in cooling, otherwise our IR will get super high. And we want to keep this as low as possible, right? That's basically my setup. Let's go see if we can deal with these NPCs here. For our targets, our first target here is a C2. And then there's 2 more, maybe 3 more. We've got the bomber. And finally, we've got a starfarer. First, I'm going to deal with the C2. It's probably the easiest one. Just going to try and sit under the belly. Already pre-turning here so that we can meet each other right as it arrives. Should be pretty decent. I'm just hoping the other ones don't show up immediately, since that bomber does have quite a bit of turrets and we don't have the craziest amount of shields. But the C2 should be super easy. Just gonna break the shield here and then we'll slowly but surely take it down. You can see we're already doing hull damage here. Just need to wait for our mag to regenerate. Should be pretty fast. We've got other ships on us as well now, so not the best. Let's see if we can quickly finish off the C2 and take on the rest. Servers are quite laggy here though, so we need to be careful. But the C2 is getting pretty red. Any minute now. Maybe 1 more volley and we should have our target. There we go, we've got the C2. For some reason, my engines are already red. I have no idea why. Maybe it's because of ballistics. Let me just see here. It is the starfarer. Should be pretty easy to take out as well. Just need to hit the head here. Hoping I can take it out before that bomber completely destroys me. Let's take down the shields. Okay, shields are finally down. 2 mags. Now to do some hull damage here on the nose. Starfarer is going down. There we go. Let's see what else is around us. I feel like there's almost a constellation, but I might be imagining something here. Here is the bomber. So it wasn't a constellation, it was this bomber with lots of turrets. Luckily, they didn't shoot any missiles. Just see if I can get through this thing before it ruins us. Well, the shields is down at the very least. Let's see if I can do damage to the main body. I'm keeping my distance just a little bit here. I don't want my shields to get shredded from this thing. He's running. Trying to keep the shields down by catching up. My ship does have VTOL, so I might activate that so that I can circle strafe just a little bit better here. Lucky for us, the body is already red. And there we go. Super easy. Shields didn't go down once, so that's a plus. My engine did go red though, so maybe there's a shield hole or something. I don't know, it's a pretty new ship. But hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, then you can watch these two videos right here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.